Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So I make little bookmarks for my planner all the time and people always ask me how I do it. So I thought today that's what I would do. So if you want to see, let's jump into it. Alright, so in front of me I have 3 die cuts and a little quote card that I actually got from the Day Spa. Also have some stickers because I'm going to use these and I'm going to show you how to make 2, well it's actually technically 3 different kinds of bookmarks. So the die cuts are going to be made into different bookmarks, obviously. So these two are going to have little paper clips stuck to the back of them, just with washi tape. You can do it with glue, but washi tape works fine. And then these two I'm actually going to cut so that they sit in your planner. So the first thing we need to do is laminate all 4 of these. You can do it with any kind of laminating pouch you like. I like matte. You guys know that by now. I adore matte. Matte looks just so much better, so much professional to me, so that's the way I like to do it. So I'm just going to send these through the laminator and I'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I had a little bit of a problem at the top there. It happens sometimes, and I wanted to show you guys sort of how you can, even though that's happened, it hasn't damaged anything, you can still work around it. It's just obviously it's not going to be as perfect as it was. So then what we need to do is cut all of these out. So I'm just going to cut around the outside of them, leaving just a little bit of a gap. Now these ones at the top that have the bit of damage are a little bit harder obviously than the others, but that's okay. So I'm just going to cut these out with just a bit of a bleed around the outside. What we can do once I've cut these out, which I do like to do anyway with some of them, is just to run them back through the laminator, and that way they'll fold out a little bit, not fold out, flatten out just a little bit. But it also makes sure that if I have kind of cut too close, that they are resealed. Okay, so they're all cut out. They actually haven't turned out too badly. I am just going to run them really quickly back through the laminator again, just because I can. Doing this with small ones is a little harder. You've got to kind of pay a little bit more attention. You might have to push in with a pair of tweezers, but just be careful when you're doing it. Don't panic if they get stuck. They will always come out. The rollers always make that happen. But it just gives you a little bit more of a crisp finish around the edges and make sure that there's no edges that aren't stuck. now we're going to get our mat in. So we're going to do the ones, we'll do these ones first, or this one first. So the first thing I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is add a sticker to the top. So I'm grabbing this little yellow one. This is a Beehaven one. I'm just going to use it on the top just as to mark that it's this week. Sounds really simple. But the idea is that because we didn't laminate it, it gives us the ability to take this off if we don't want it. So if after a little while I don't like having the this week bit there, I can take that out or take it off just using a little bit of undo and it will be fine. So it means you can keep using it even if you change your mind. So to get the actual cut bit, we're just going to use a knife for this. So what you want to do, this is a fun bit. I always get very nervous cutting with a knife. I don't know why. So you want to get your sort of, and it comes down to what you are more comfortable doing. If you want to go down the side first and then cut the bottom, or I think I'm happier doing it this way. So I'm going to go down here. And I'm just going to cut from there to there. So I'm basically just cutting so I get the quote in that middle bit. You could measure this out if you were really worried about it, and see it hasn't quite come the whole way through, but the idea is that once the line's down you can go again. I think that's through. There we go. And then the same thing on the other side. And I'm just going to join them up. That one's not quite far enough down. Got a little bit there that I've missed, so I'm just going to tidy that up with the scissors. Means there's going to be a little gap there, but you're never going to notice it because it's going to be sitting over your pages. So there we go, that's the first one. So the way this one will work, you get your page. I'm just going to jump to a blank one for now. You can just put this over the top. So you can put it so the quote sits forward or the quote sits back, doesn't matter. Oh, come on, there we go. And it just sits there like that, but at the top of your planner, you've got the this week tag all ready to go. So you can see it there, just easy to go to, and it's easy to move week to week. And it actually kind of looks cool back or front. I'm kind of rather impressed with that one. I like that one. And that's just done with a card that you got from a spa. Like, it doesn't even have to be a die cut. How cool is that? All right, that's the first one. The second one, these two are from Tender Designs, just in case you didn't know that. That one technically sits that way. So what I was going to do was just do a little, because I thought it sat that way, so that's my bad. What's that sitting on? There we go. So that's my bad, so I'm trying to work out now how I'm going to change it. I'm going to actually have it so it sits at the bottom. That sounds really odd, but it'll make sense in a sec. So I'm just going to do this one freehand, so I'm just cutting sort of along that line of the paper clip, and then the same thing on this side, and just making sure that's gone the whole way through, which it has. So this one's sort of going to be the opposite of the other one that we just did, and this one's going to sit on the bottom of the page, which I don't know if people use bottom of the page ones or not, but I think they're kind of cool. I haven't used them before, but I think they'd be kind of cool. And it just sits in like that. That needs to go a bit further. Righto. So I'm going to bring that down all the way. And just using the sort of bit of the paper clip as a guide. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect either. There we go. That's a bit better. And so that now sits at the bottom of the page instead of the top of the page. And you can do the same thing. You can flip this around and have it sit the other way. So it's got the paper clip bit there. Oh, there we go. It's just not as straight. Come down a bit further. There we go. There we go. So you've got like a bottom of the page bookmark. That actually looks really cool. And then the other two are a little bit simpler in the way that we're just sticking a paper clip to it. Now, depending on how big your die cut is going to depend on what kind of paper clip you're going to need. For the big Oscar&lou one, I'm going to show you just with a big sort of normal paper clip. But then for the bow, I'm going to use this little droplet one. I think I bought this from Officeworks, I think. But the first thing you need to do is kind of bend these out a little bit. If you're going to do this with a knife, just be really careful because obviously the knives are sharp. You just want to give it a bit of a push just to get it sitting out a little bit. Just makes it easy to put on your page later on. So you only need it to be that much, but it just helps. It just helps. So it goes that way. So you get some washi tape. This one's simply gilded. This is just, I'm using it because it's pink and it's pretty. No other reason. You can also put backing papers on any of these if you wanted to. Like on the back of the die cuts, just to make them a little prettier. I don't usually worry about it too much, but you can. So then you want to put the paperclip over the washi tape. And I'm going to give this a couple of strips of washi so it's not just one, just because it's so thin. So you got one there that's kind of going to stick that down. And grab another bit just to give it a bit of extra adhesion. And then I'm going to give that a bit of a trim too, just to make them line up. And then you just stick it down. It's seriously that simple. There we go. Now you can give it a bit of a push in the middle because you want it to be stuck. There's your next one, which I'll show you in my planner in just a sec. We'll do this one first. This die cut, by the way, is from Oscar&lou, and when I ran it back through the laminator, it completely fixed that bit that was sort of a bit wobbly at the top, so easy. So doing the same thing with this paperclip, just giving it a bit of a bend, sorry. Not going to use quite as much tape this time because I don't need it, but I will still do some layers. I don't know why I'm really into layering washi tape at the moment. I just think it looks really cool. So same thing we did before, just lining this up. I'm going to do 3 layers this time. Okay, and you can have this as high or as low as you like. Like if you want to have this a little bit lower so it sits up higher in the planner, you'd have to put it a bit further down, just use slightly skinnier bits of washi tape, as in less wide ones. But there we go, that's done. So then when you put them in the planner, they're going to look like this. So I've got the first one there. There we go. That one sits up just a little bit higher because we put the clip sort of at the top bit, and then the Oscar&lou one, put that just there for now. She sits a little lower because we put it all the way at the top. So there we go. There are 4 different ways that you can make some little paper clips or little page markers for your planner. None of them are complicated. Some of them don't involve needing paper clips, some of them do, but it just comes down to personal preference, what you like, what you don't like, and what sort of die cuts or bits and pieces you have around in your office or in your craft room to kind of use. I've been using these heaps in my social media TN more than in my regular planner, just because I've already got my little page marker here with my little cute succulent, but you can use them anywhere. You can even use them if you wanted to make yourself a nice little bookmark just for actually like a bookmark. This one will work really well for that too, so with these, really simple. But that is it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to be subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any future videos, and let me know if you want to see any other DIYs. Don't forget to follow me on all of my socials as well, because I do post extra content over there, and I will see you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!